they're doing is horrible. From the very first day that we take back the White House, Crooked Joe Biden and his radical band of lunatics, I believe we're going to have our 4 greatest years in the history of our country. I believe that. And I don't know if you noticed when we won Iowa last week by record numbers, did you see there was a little accident that happened in Asia? China crashed. Did you see that? Their stock market crashed when we won. Well, now, we want everybody to do well. We want them to do well, too. But it's sort of an interesting thing. Now, the Democrats would say that was just a coincidence, right? But no, their market crashed when they came out with those record numbers, and that market went down trillions of dollars. The next Trump economic boom will begin on November 5th, 2024. It's going to be a boom like no other. And you know, the stock market is going good. You know why because the economy is horrible except for the stock market, because everyone thinks we're going to get elected, and that's why they're doing it. These are very smart investors. If they see a bad poll, you're going to see some bad numbers. Or if you see a bad result tomorrow, you're going to see some very bad numbers. But they're running on the fumes of what we did in every way, including oil. We produced things that nobody ever thought possible. But the day after the election, they're going to turn it all off. You watch. But the stock market's running on fumes, and the stock market, literally, every single time you see good polls coming out from that stock market goes crazy. So I want to just congratulate all of you investors, but you better hope I win, because otherwise you're going to be in 1929 territory, in my opinion. And we're going to bring America together through success. You know, we're going to bring the country together through success. Success is going to be the way it happens. That was happening until COVID came in, a couple of years, 2.5 years. We had the greatest, and even after, I mean, you look at the numbers, we had the greatest numbers in history for those 4 years. But until COVID came in, nobody's ever seen anything like it. Better than any country at any time, ever, ever. And I'll tell you, people were coming up to me, the people that you would least suspect, and they were coming up and they wanted to talk turkey. People that we weren't talking to too much, because everybody was doing better. Every single group, rich people, poor people, but especially poor people, actually, proportionally worked the best for poor people. But people with diplomas from the best colleges and schools, and people with no diploma, women, everybody, Asian Americans were doing unbelievable. Hispanic Americans were doing unbelievable. African Americans were doing, everybody was doing, and people were talking, and it was success. And when they ask me, can we ever bring our country together? I say, yes, we can, with success. We get that success back, and we're going to be bringing our country together like you wouldn't believe it actually could. Even me, I was so surprised. I was getting calls from people that you would not suspect would be calling. And everybody got a piece of that action, and it was a beautiful thing to see. We had gas prices at $1.87 a gallon with no inflation. We didn't have inflation wiping you out. Inflation is called a country buster. It busts countries. It breaks up countries. Together, we ended the NAFTA disaster, the worst trade deal ever made, and replaced it with a brand new USMCA, that's Mexico and Canada, the best single trade deal ever made in our country. And we know it's good because Mexico and Canada are trying to renegotiate the deal. And they shouldn't be doing that, Joe. You shouldn't do it, because we had to suffer with NAFTA for years. I took on communist China like no administration in history, bringing in hundreds of billions of dollars, pouring right into our treasury, when no other president had gotten even literally 10 cents out of China. Nobody even tried. We took in hundreds of billions of dollars. I gave $28 billion directly to the farmers. And in your case, we gave it also to the New England lobstermen and fishermen. Any fishermen here? You know, Biden wants to put a license fee on fishermen. Can you imagine? I hear it's $700 a day. And I know nothing about fishing and costs, but I know that $700 a day, that's a lot of fish. They want to put on a $700 fee. They're going to do that. When Joe Biden, I'll get rid of it my first day, okay? I'll get rid of it. When Joe Biden took office, he immediately canceled the Keystone XL pipeline that I had approved. I proved it. It was all being built. Waged war on American energy and launched the Green New Scam. It's the Green New Deal. We call it the Green New Scam because it is a scam, triggering runaway. Did you see Kerry left? Kerry goes over to China to lecture them about the environment. They take his meeting, they have lunch, he goes, and then they laugh at him as he's walking out. They don't do anything. And their dust blows right over the, you know, with the winds, just happens that way. It blows right over the middle of our country and actually up the West Coast. Their garbage comes right along, goes right down the Pacific, right alongside of Los Angeles. So we end up picking up their garbage. How stupid are we? But it's triggering runaway inflation and sending the cost of energy right through the roof. And again, remember I said this. You have the highest cost of energy of any state in the union. We're going to cut your costs within 1 year down to half. And I have a friend over here who's going to keep me to that, because there's no reason that New Hampshire should be paying the highest. You're higher than anybody else, including in New England. You're higher than any other state. If we don't win this election, Biden will stop all the drilling and all the things that we got started, and prices will go up like you won't believe. It's going to happen if they win, and we can't let them win. And the only way they're going to win, in my opinion, is if they cheat, because I don't believe there's any way. You look at these crowds where they're filling up every room, and all over the building we have people. And then outside we have hundreds of people. They can't get in. This was supposed to be just a little quick stop. It's like crazy. Already Biden is blocking approval for new facilities to export American natural gas. He's blocking it. He doesn't want them to build it. At a time when we're sitting on trillions of dollars of wealth, I call it liquid gold, right? That could help us pay off the debt. You know, we have $35 trillion in debt. Reduce taxes further. I gave you the biggest we got the biggest tax cut in the history of our country, bigger than the Reagan tax cut. And protect the security of ourselves and our allies. Biden wants to turn off the spigot. He just doesn't want it to happen.